You've grown into a beautiful woman, Galesse. It's good to finally meet you face to face now that you're well.
I've heard the stories of what you did to help me. And as much as it's appreciated, I would still like to know your reasoning behind it.
The short answer is truly simple. I was protecting a gift given to your father years back.
Gift? What gift are you talking about?
My mother was a gifted thief and a nightingale. As I was coming into womanhood, she began to train me with her skills. We were lifting a sword from a shop called Blade and Song in Woodhearth. On our way out, I had tripped over some steel swords leaning against the wall and woke the blacksmith from his sleep. He screamed for help from his bedroom window and the guards were on us quickly. My mother tried sticking to the shadows, but it became difficult when she has me in tow. Right before we reached the protection of the forest, an arrow lodged into my mother's leg. She reached down and snapped the arrow off so we could keep moving, and we found a place to hide as everything settled down. By morning, my mother's leg was already swollen, and her wound looked angry. A sweat was breaking on my mother's forehead as fever set in. She told me I needed to try and find her some help, so I ran back towards town, in hopes of finding some medicine.
That sounds dangerous, considering the guards were looking for you.
I was able to move around freely. They were searching for my mother, not me, of course. But at the moment, all that mattered was trying to get my mother well. Anyway, as I moved towards the edge of town, I was grabbed by a young man who calmed me and asked me to lead him to my mother. He was so kind and gentle. He tried to tend to my mother's leg, but told us he needed to get some medicine. He returned within a day, not only with medicine, but other supplies to help us stay comfortable as my mother healed. He set us up a nice tent, with warm bedrolls, food and water, and took the time to remove the arrowhead from my mother's leg.
This man, was he my father?
At that moment he was too young, but yes, he became your father later in his life. He was a very kind man, and did everything he could to make sure my mother and I was well. We find out later on that he was the blacksmith's apprentice from the Blade and Song. He knew we were the thieves that had stolen the sword, yet made no judgment. He told my mother that she must have had a good reason to steal the sword, and never once did he try to take the sword back. Instead, he mended my mother's leg till we were good enough to travel again. Mother checked up on him a few times a year from the shadows, and taught me to always repay the debt to him, if he ever needed it. After some time, she dropped off the plans and spells to be able to smith a royal axe. It had been passed down from my grandmother, Queen Berenzia.
Is this why people have mentioned that my mother was from royalty?
Yes, it is. People started spreading this rumor because the first axe your father built was shortly after he married your mother. Anyway, years later we had two people from the Thieves Guild steal the location of the plans from my locked chest. I knew that they were heading to your family's house to steal them. I spoke with Galesse and we took off in search of them. By the time we arrived at your family's home, you were found almost dead on the floor, and we sprung into action to save you. We did all we could to save you, feeling in the end that the debt was finally repaid.
Thank you, but were the plans ever recovered for the axe?
We did recover them later on, and it feels only right for you to have them. Pass them down with your family if you ever have one.
Thank you for everything. Please give the plans to him. He's the only person I've ever trusted. We'll be seeing you again soon.
Planning some exciting heists, I hope.